Okay, guys, I know that I said I was out, but I'm back. Um, I just thought of something else when I finished the other video. It kind of connects, so I thought, you know what? Let me go back in. It's gonna go a little bit longer, guys. We're just gonna continue the conversation. But I wanted to talk about the push for digital games in the market and just how that's going. I just don't like it. You guys know, if you've been on this channel, if you're new to this channel, please, drop a like, subscribe. But if you've been with me for a little bit, you've been rocking with me, you know how I feel about digital games and just, you know I like physical over digital, and I just don't like the digital push. And it seems like they're pushing harder than they ever been before, especially when it comes to Nintendo. You already know Nintendo don't really like, re-releasing. Just people just having anything. Like, they will resell you a game to death. They will. They might add a little something to it. They might, spruce it up a little bit. But if they can resell it to you, they gonna resell it to you. And it's no surprise that the Nintendo Switch 2 games are coming like they are. Because if you don't own nothing, they can keep selling it to you. And it seems like a lot of the Nintendo fanboys, they don't get that. And they are more than happy to be shelling out money for the same game over and over again. Like, I don't know if these guys think, I don't know. I don't think they do. Or maybe they just in a different tax bracket. They gotta be like the hardcore Nintendo fanboys. They gotta be making, I don't know. They gotta be spreading money or something. Like, I don't know what you gotta be doing to spread money, but they must be spreading money. But like, I don't know. It must be true when they say money don't grow on trees. They be spreading. So I don't know what these guys be doing. But I'm sitting back and I'm looking and I'm like, Nintendo can't be doing this. But then I'm like, Nintendo is going to do this. You've been talking about this for a while, how you just don't like digital games and you feel like that's the way it's going. And it's just not, it's not what it is. If you don't own something, they can take it away from you. It's just a subscription. They can stop providing a subscription anytime. You know, you buy a digital game, you have it maybe for, if you're lucky, maybe a decade or two, maybe 10 years, 8 years. But if they take it away from you, you don't have it anymore. And what you gonna do? They're gonna be like, oh, well, it says you don't own the game. It was only a, subscription. It was only a service, you know. What they gonna do? Drop a new system, bam. Now you gotta pay full price for the game again. Again. For the same game. It's probably not even different. It's probably the same game. They gonna make it you pay for it full price again when you just paid for it last generation. Come on, dog. You gonna let them do you like that? Oh damn, it's not focused. Alright, there you go. You gonna let them play in your face like that? That's what we're doing? That's what they doing. Now, it ain't me. I know it ain't you guys. I know you guys watch this channel and you ain't going for it. I know it's not you guys. Them over there, they ain't with us, They might stop in every now and then, They ain't locked in like that. We gotta get them locked in, guys. They need help. I don't know if these guys are thinking. They too busy spreading money. But come on, guys. There ain't no way that I'm gonna keep paying for the same game over and over again. You ain't adding nothing to it, no new resolution, nothing. But you want me to keep paying for it. And I think that's what a lot of these gaming companies are going for with the subscriptions, with the push for digital games. They want to make gaming, like Netflix subscription. You pay a subscription, you get to keep playing the game. I have no problems really with Game Pass. I think the way that Game Pass is set up, that it gives people a lot of opportunities to play different games without having to shell out a lot of money. But there is a reverse to Game Pass. What if there's nothing but digital games on this service and you don't get to own any of the games? And what if They changed it to where you have to buy into the service, but then you still, and this is just me thinking, have to pay for the games on that service. I know that's wild. You're like, come on, nobody doing that. They ain't doing that. That's crazy. I don't know. These guys are companies, guys. They're not our friends. They proved it time and time again. If they can squeeze money out of you, they will. And trust me, Nintendo, the way things are looking right now, they squeezing the hell out of you. They squeezing the hell out of you guys. I'm just like, damn. You guys hyped up the Nintendo Switch so much that they feeling themselves. They feeling themselves. Like, damn. They come on. They already know they are gonna make money from Nintendo Switch too. Why they gotta do you guys like that? They hyping up everything in price. Like, what? Come on. What? Come on, dog. Come on. And then the other companies are following suit. Gaming's getting wild, bro. Like, they following suit. The only people that look like I've seen that looks like they're not doing it is EA. It looks like EA, as right now, they're not doing that. Their new game, Mafia, I think it was like Old Country, it's $50. I'm like, damn, okay. And I don't know if it's really confirmed that they're not, doing the higher price point. This is something I've seen, looked into a little bit. I was like, okay, cool, But who knows? These companies, man, digital games. I've never been a fan. I always liked the physical games. There is a downside with physical. Sometimes if you got too much, you can't keep everything. It just takes up a lot of space. But it's better than having to keep on shelling out money for the same game. I would rather I need to find space to put these than I just don't have enough money to pay this game anymore. That's my thing. That's why in the last video I've said I understand why people are pirating, selling the seeds, raising the black flag. I understand. I'm not telling anybody to go out there and do it, but I understand. And I'm just not a fan of, the digital games because they can take it away from you anytime. I also don't like that, they don't put the full game on the disc anymore. And, I used to love when they had the games fully on the disc. You can download it, and it's just the game. Now they only put, a link. It's, on a new Nintendo Switch 2 cartridges, the full games are not even on there. It's just, I guess a code to get the download link, and they'll download it onto your system. And then that's how you get access. The game's not even on there. So it's like, what? The game's not even on there. And it's like, how long do you think the Nintendo Switch 2, servers and stuff are going to stay up? You think they're going to keep them up forever? Do you think those cartridges with those codes that don't even have the full game are going to work forever? You gotta be crazy if you think you do. Yeah, if you think they are. They're not. I don't know how long they're gonna last, but they're not gonna last forever. 1, maybe 2 generations after the Switch 2, maybe. If you're lucky. If you're lucky. But eventually, they're just gonna be paperweights. Not even that. They're not gonna be useful anymore. Once they move on, and they can't make any more money off of those, they're going to shut down the system, whatever that was, running off of, and they'll just be useless. And then they'll make you buy the game all over again. And it's like people don't see that. I don't know if people have, future vision. I don't know. Maybe I'm just some kind of, psychic or something that can see into the future. Maybe I got some special, like, X-Men kind of ability or something. Maybe I'm just ahead of people. I don't know. But it don't seem like they look, in the future. It's like they can't see it. It's like everything has to be right here with them. All they see is a new shiny Nintendo Switch 2 with the new Mario Kart that's supposed to be open world and whatever, whatever. And they don't care that it's $80. And if you can't afford it, just say so. It's like they trying to flex on people. Like, you flexing that you can afford? Okay, well, that's good for you. I'm happy that you can afford Nintendo milking you for all your money. I'm happy for you. You got money to spend on an expensive console and an expensive, you know, game as well. Good for you. I'm so happy. But for the rest of us, it's like, well, what's going on? The gaming market is, they're turning on the milking machine. They're just trying to squeeze, whatever they can get out of us. And I think it's going to backfire eventually, especially with the digital stuff. I don't think, I always say, if you're going to buy digital, don't buy it full price. Buy it on sale. I'll buy a digital game on sale. I'm not against buying digital games when it comes on sale, because at least then you didn't buy it at the full price, especially if you can get it for a really, really low price digitally on Steam, Xbox, or PlayStation, or wherever you buy games. If you can get it digitally, you know at a low price, then it's good. Even if they take it away from you down the line, you didn't pay full price for it. So you'd be like, you know what? The game was originally like $60. I only paid like maybe $15 for it. I had it for maybe 10 years or so, or whatever. I played it a couple of times and beat it. I got my money's worth, and you know what? It's gone now, but I didn't pay full price for it. So it's fine. I always thought, why are digital games, the same price as a physical copy? It makes no sense to me. Why isn't it lower? Why is the physical game and a digital copy of the game the same price? It makes no sense to me. Especially when you don't own the digital copy. It's just a subscription or license, as they like to say. Then shouldn't it be cheaper? Why is it the same price as the full game that comes with that has a physical copy? And they're pushing for this digital so hard. Each company, subscription, and they're all moving to subscription. Nintendo has the Nintendo subscription online, and Xbox has Game Pass, PlayStation has PlayStation Plus, and the whole thing that Xbox is trying to do, which in the future is just get people to be able to play Xbox anywhere. And why do you think they want people to be able to play Xbox anywhere? So they can play Game Pass and pay for that. Pay for that subscription. Sign up into that and just keep concurrent players paying for that and generating money. So it's just a big thing. Growing up, I always owned the games that I played, Or what they like to say, you never really owned the game. You just, license it. None of these games are yours. Which is crazy, If I have it and it's physical, I own it, If I have, a copy of Harry Potter, I own that book of Harry Potter. I might not own, the trademark Harry Potter or whatever else, but I own that copy of that book Harry Potter. That's mine. I can read it whenever I want. Flip through the pages, do whatever I want with it. Cut it up, spread it, make graffiti. That's my book. I should be able to do this. I just want to be able to do the same with my video games. If I want to play it, I should be able to play it wherever I want, when I want. I would like to have a manual, cover art, place it, put it on display, a bookshelf or something. You know, I want to be able to do those with my games, and if I can't, then I don't know. I just don't like this digital push that, you know, these companies are going for. And I just feel like it's way more money hungry than anything. They just want to be able to, you know, make us shell out money for the same game over and over again. And you know, it seems like some people are waking up to it. Some people probably just don't really care, and you know, other people were trying to fight against it. But it just seems like, I don't know. But with that, guys, I'm K-dre Almighty. Remember, no matter who you are, where you're from, there's mine that's in you, and I'm out.